Hey guys, welcome to Series 7, and today I'm reviewing this, which is the Streetwise FRiPHONE. So this is really cool. This is a stun gun slash taser, but it's made to look like a cell phone. And to be honest, I've always been interested in like James Bond type things. I never really liked James Bond, but I've always liked the kind of gadgets from that, spy gear. I think I've reviewed a couple of those on the channel. So when I saw this, I definitely decided I wanted to, pick it up because it's very cool. And, there's a lot of stun guns and tasers on the market, but there's not really any that look like a cell phone. So I think this is kind of cool. But, you have the FRiPHONE. It tells you how many volts, Streetwise up here. Now, it says actual voltage might, is output is difficult to measure, but this unit compares to other brands that claim to be that many volts. So that's good. So, just kind of a little bit of a warning there. And then you have, the stuff that's on these, and then you have this. It tells you what all it does, because it does some pretty cool things. And then you have conditions of sale. And yeah, so this is about $20. It's on the internet. It's not very expensive. Part of my reason for actually getting it to just, it's pretty cool. And it looks like a regular cell phone. It's actually really neat. It looks like a cell phone. It's kind of smaller than the cell phone I have, but I have seen cell phones that look like this. I've seen cell phones that are bigger. Cell phones, they're kind of different depending on who makes them. So that's cool. Mine came with film that I had to take off. It says you have to take off the film. I don't know if that's going to mess with the stun gun or the taser or whatever. It's kind of weird though. Like, why would you even put film on it if you're going to have to take it off? But you have like where the cameras would be. It's made to look like a cell phone. It's not an actual cell phone. You have this. It's made to look like a button. And then on the back here, you have this, which is the flashlight. There's a flashlight on this. This makes the alarm noise. There's an alarm noise. And up here are your metal contacts. Now, the contacts are, they're the taser thing. So usually contacts are a little bit bigger. So I'm kind of surprised about that. But I guess this is kind of more like for the concealed, tasers and stun guns, they're typically not like a brawling weapon. Like, you could fight with one, but it's not like the movies or anything like where you really could do that. They're mainly just kind of like defensive tools that allow you to escape. Like, I don't know a lot about them, but from what I do know, they're really just kind of like made, for you to get away from your attacker. So, this is definitely, you want it to be concealed if that's the case. And I also think too, like I said, with tasers not being like brawler or defensive weapons, like if you pull out a big blocky taser, someone's gonna know what that is. They're gonna be more they're gonna be more ready to fight you. But if you pull out this, they're gonna think, oh, it's just a cell phone. I mean, you can call the police, but what can you really do with a cell phone? But if you have a taser that looks like a cell phone, I think that kind of gives you the more chance, I guess is the best way to put it. And you do have this red light over here. This red light will it will go red when the taser is on. So if you have that and this is on, that tells you the taser is on. There's a safety mode, which I think is very smart because, I mean, again, you don't want like a kid or something to get a hold of this because it does look like a toy cell phone, to be honest. So that is a little bit of a problem, but, just be careful with it. And one thing I really like is down here, this is your charging port, and you do get a little cable, like a very tiny cable. It's USB, but you actually charge this like you charge a real cell phone. I think that's kind of cool. So let's go over the features real quick. So first, you want to switch it on. When you do that, the light won't red because there's two ons. There's on for the flashlight and the alarm, and then there's on for the taser. So for the flashlight, as you can see, it's pretty bright. It's not incredibly bright, but I mean, it is pretty bright. It can be useful. It looks like a phone one. Now this is the alarm. I will admit, the alarm is a lot louder than I thought it was going to be. I don't know if you can hear that as loud. I don't think it will come up that loud on video, but in in hand, it actually kind of hurts my ears a little bit. But it sounds like a car alarm, but it's very high-pitched, and I will admit, I actually really like that. I thought it was going to be some kind of silly alarm when it said alarm, like, wee, or something like that, but this is actually a very high-pitched alarm, and I feel like this could distract or disorient someone in case of an emergency, so I think that's pretty cool, or at least get someone's attention if you need help, so that's cool. And then you want to slide it all the way back here, and then boom, you got the red LED. I'm going to be honest, I kind of wish this didn't light up red, because I think that's a little too weird. Like, I think that's a little too noticeable, but that being said, I mean, at least it tells you if it's on. Like, you don't want to accidentally tase yourself or worse, so at least if you have the safety. Like, I've seen some stun guns that don't have the light, but at least they are trying to make it safe, so I think that's cool. All right, and then lastly, I'm going to press the taser button now, and I just realized it's on this side. It actually has a little lightning bolt icon. Don't know if you can see that, but as you can see, very, very cool. Very neat, very tasery, very taser-like. I don't really know that much about tasers, but yeah. So overall, I think this is a really cool idea because, you're creating a taser that is compact it's something most people wouldn't notice, and that can be a bad thing. I mean, this could be used for a weapon, that could be bad, but the thing is, like, this is mostly used for defense. And if you need to defend yourself, I think this is kind of like the perfect tool because, like I said, most people won't expect it. Like, chances are you're probably never going to actually ever be in a situation where you need this. But if you are in a situation where you need this, it's compact, people don't know what it is, and it can buy you time because time is really one of the most important things in these matters. Time, like, often does decide if a person lives or die. Like, it can be the defining moment, like whether you get away or you don't. So I definitely think making this the way they did, I think they did a great job. I also think the flashlight feature and the light feature, I think that's very, the sound feature, I think that's very effective. It's obviously not as effective as the taser, but it's still kind of useful, and I do feel like you could use this. So overall, I think it's pretty cool. Last thing I want to go over real quick is the instructions, because you do get a booklet of instructions, and it just kind of tells you how it works. It tells you need to charge this. Mine worked without charging it, at least the features did. I didn't try the taser without charging it, but if you've got it on red, it'll turn to green when it's fully charged, and don't charge it for more than 8 hours. And let's see. All right, not really that important. On the back, it does show you where's probably the best place to tase your attacker. So I think that's pretty cool. It does tell you the effects of it, or an assailant. 1 to 2 seconds can cause muscle spasms, which are not very fun. I was in a car accident once. Those are not fun. And a dazed mental state. Touching an assailant for 3 to 5 seconds will cause loss of balance and muscle control and total mental confusion or disorientation. Now, to be honest with you, I don't really know if that's actually true, just mainly because this does seem like a smaller taser to do that much. But then again, I mean, it really does depend on the voltage, so I don't know. But at least it tells you, what to do if you are attacked. It does say do not tase someone more than 5 seconds. I'm assuming that could be bad. Like, again, I don't really know, but yeah, definitely be careful with that. You don't want to hurt anyone. This is just used to defend yourself. And that's the great thing about tasers, because they're not lethal. They're not like guns. You don't have to kill anyone or anything like that. It's just something to protect you in the moment that you need it. So I think that's great. And lastly, it does also mention that if someone is holding your arm while you tase them, that it will not affect you. But I don't really see how that would work. But you know what? It does say that on the instructions, so that's a good thing. And really just nothing else on there that's that important. But definitely hold on to that, Like I said, I think this is cool. I think it is a defense weapon. I think that's what it's made for, and I think it's perfect. I wouldn't even really say it's like more of a weapon. I'd just say it's something you could use to defend yourself, which I guess technically does make it a weapon, but, it's definitely something that you wouldn't expect. It's definitely, well hidden, and I think that's good because, in a situation like that, if you pull out something blocky like a taser, like I said earlier in the video, people are going to notice that. This, they're not going to notice, and that could be the key defining moment that really does help to saving you. So yeah, like I said, they're $20. They're online. It's called the FRiPHONE. They're made by Streetwise. There's a couple different brands. They make a couple different ones. Some cheaper, some are higher. But definitely look into them. Thank you for watching. Please rate, like, and subscribe. Oh.